here for Gala. Obviously, picking up the Kaisa yesterday, had that big old pentakill for himself, so we'll have to see if we get something similar, but it will be Wei getting his hands on this Wukong, a pick that has been coming higher and higher priority as the group stage of MSI goes on.
And again, the reason why I think we're seeing a lot of people just kind of first pick it as well is a flex. You know, we have seen T1 pick it up into the bot lane with a fasting Senna. You put it in jungle, technically it can go into one of those soul lanes as well. You have a lot of options available to you when you pick up the Monkey King. So what is going to be a response here now from the FastPay Wildcats? It looks like they're going straight for HolyPhoenix and saying, look, we're going to, sorry buddy, we're not going to let you go down the draft anymore. We need to get you something you can prioritize.
And I think it's a good shout, right? Like, HolyPhoenix definitely wants something that he's going to be able to set himself up for a bit more of a carry. And as we kind of talk about with Gala a lot as well, not exactly the most extensive of champion pools too. So you always kind of see him falling back towards at least the Ezreal. He's prioritized a lot in MSI, maybe something like the Tristana that we've seen in the past as well. But Ferret kind of knowing he's going up against the Wukong, which wants that time to scale to that level 6. He's like, hey, look, I'll handshake that. I'll take the Diana, and we can both kind of wait and farm our way up to that level 6 before we really have that big impact.
And this is going to be a big test for the side of FastPay Wildcats because, again, they are sitting at 1-1. You would like to try and, you know, have your own fate in your own hands. So you are going to try and maybe make something work and see what they can do with the Diana. I love it as a pick in theory, but it does come down to execution.
Yeah, and I like that on the opposite side, you're kind of going, hey, look, we could go for the Tristan if we wanted to and go, look, we're just going to play for the late game fight. But instead, they're going to go back towards the Ezreal. But the key thing with both these carries is that they have that ability to get away from that big engage tool, right? Get away from this almost wombo combo, this dive opportunity that Istanbul Wildcats are setting up for. So having that self-peel for RNG's carries feels like it's going to be super important.
And the Ezreal fits into RNG's playstyle so perfectly as well. It just means that you have, when you get Ming onto something like the Leona that's just been locked in, it's self-sustaining. Ming can go off, do his own thing, link up with Wei, try and maybe work with Xiaohu somewhere else on the map, while Gala is, in theory, relatively safe on his own.
And I'm curious to see now what FarFetch goes towards, because I always see him go back towards something like the Rakan, but we haven't actually seen that from FarFetch just yet. So could also go towards something like the set that he brought out back at home, but not going to, instead getting the Irelia. That's a bit nuts because it's a blind pick Irelia. And I mean, you've got a lot of opportunities that could come in as a counter pick.
It's also a bit of a flex as well. It can go to mid lane Serin, it could go up to top side for StarScreen. You have the AP jungles, you have got options available to you. And honestly, it does feel like FastPay Wildcats have got themselves a little bit of a game plan that they're saying, look, we know what we want to do against you guys.
And I definitely think it is going to be in the mid lane, right? You have that AP jungler, it opens up for that AD mid laner, and you can already see, at least for the moment, maybe RNG aren't calling that mid lane Irelia just yet. Banning the Yasuo, probably going to get rid of the Yone as well. Maybe they're still trying to figure out exactly where this is going, but also just trying to deny access to that Diana and that Yasuo combo, which has been so good for such a long time.
And I love this draft, honestly, coming out from the Wildcats. They've got to turn around and say, look, we're going to take away a lot of the big AP options you have available left to you. The Gwen is obviously something you can go to flex stuff, and of course the Vex for Xiaohu. I'm going to say it, I think he's one of the best Vex, if not the best Vex in the world at the moment, because the guy just seems to know how this champion works.
Yeah, he's incredibly good at it. It's the accuracy that he gets those ults, but as you said, gone off the board, so they're kind of looking to see what the game plan is going to be. Pyke covered at the moment. I think having the Umbro Glaive is going to be really good and gives the opportunity to follow up with this big wombo that Istanbul Wildcats are setting up for. On the opposite side, it feels like if you want to go towards something like a Renata, maybe a Gnar up here for Bin as well, and things that can do reasonably well in these team fights, because you're already seeing, I mean, at least for RNG, a pretty decent team fight for themselves as well, but you really want to try and find things that can kind of take the impact that is going to be coming through from Istanbul Wildcats.
There is Bin's Gangplank locked and loaded. Plenty of international fans are going to remember the massive barrels this man can put out here. And honestly, I'm excited.
I'm already like living for the G2 tweets.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I know there's like Yanko's tweeting out like just a scared face or something. I've seen this, but you know, but again, I think it can work out relatively well, all right? Like, good blind pick in the top lane. It's actually crazy strong at the moment, multiple different builds. But I think the big thing is that you're not really having a major front line here that can kind of absorb the damage that's going to come through from Istanbul Wildcats. So if FastPay Wildcats can get into a position where they're good, it feels like they can actually find some really good skirmishes. And that's going to be the Vladimir going into the bot lane. Okay,
so I'm going to go ahead and say, see champion, kill champion. That is what FastPay Wildcats are doing right now. And honestly, this is such a great mitigator into the Gangplank. You have the self-sustain, you've got the range advantage as well in the early stages, so you're not going to be... The biggest thing I always notice when I see the Gangplanks in any lane is that you get that early kind of harass down with the Q, and it just becomes impossible to deal with. But with the sustain that Vladimir naturally has, and the safety, this becomes an awful lot more of an easier lane.
Yeah, and it's actually been a really cool draft from Istanbul Wildcats, because it feels like they've kind of responded super well to what they've seen coming through from RNG, right? You get the Wukong first pick. Okay, cool, we'll go with the Diana. Both champions that spike off level 6 and don't really have huge impact in the early stages, so let's try and play for these mid-game team fights, these level 6 team fights. Then you're looking going, okay, well now we can start to see, oh, you've got a Gangplank who's not really going to be able to take over in a top lane matchup. Let's go for the late game Vladimir. So I think it's been pretty cool to see what Istanbul Wildcats have come with. I'm just curious to see how this is all going to work together, because if you can get that one big combo off multiple members of RNG, you can definitely take this across the line, but you've got to try and fight back against RNG in this mid game, because if they're able to get the ball rolling like they usually do, that's where I think you're going to struggle.
And absolutely, and I think this is a great draft on the side of Wildcats, because it just shows, you know we can get the early game. This is something we can focus on and just kind of punish from the side of RNG.
And I think for RNG, this is where we're going to kind of see, like, if they're able to find moments again for Xiaohu to get out and roam, have that impact in the early stages like we've seen. They're against the melee mid, so for Xiaohu should be able to push in pretty early on this Zoe and then start to move off towards those side lanes.
Is it two massive boats going to look on a collision course in the middle of the night? There's 5 members of both teams up in this top side. Will Ferret even see anybody? He's going to get caught out. Ferret needs to back away. They don't have any CC just yet, but they don't know that the rest of the Wildcats are down the bottom side. They're cats waiting to pounce. They need to get their resets off.
Yeah, nobody going to lag behind, though. Everyone going to just back away. Bin will stick around by himself, but it will actually let Istanbul Wildcats get in here and get some vision down. So maybe looking to see if they can pick off some member themselves as RNG come back out onto the map, but they will just reset. So a little bit of vision, but not a huge amount. It's not even, they got the ward on the blue buff there, so they actually spot out where Wei is going to start. So at least Ferret will be able to have a bit of information as he starts off his clear.
Very excited there, but it literally was just both teams respecting the fact that they didn't know where everyone else was. So they backed away, they got themselves reset, and like you said, they got that early vision down to see where that Wukong's would be going.
And this is the thing, right? For Istanbul Wildcats, the ability for them to maybe take blood off of RNG will be so good for them in this group. If you can get a win against the big lads that are here, like, it just sets you up so nicely, especially when you're looking at, again, the rock, paper, scissors, that how close this group has been. It really does feel like if you can have that one moment, that one game in that best of one, where you can pick off a victory, it can make everything so much easier.
Absolutely, and that, I love how you bring it up as well. Best of one. This is a game. It's a small sample size, but that's all you need in order to get the W. We're going to see him engage on the bot side, though. It's FarFetch. He's on the bike, and he's got nowhere to go. We're going to see him try and flash away, but he's first blooded by Gala as Ming is running away from HolyPhoenix, who's not got the damage. He flashes forward, but the Q is not good enough. Double kill in bot lane. They tried to go for something. It just ends in disaster.
I'm real sorry. I was trying to, pick you up. I was like, you got this. You're going to be all right. I like what you're going for, but the 2v2 gone completely astray for them. Although Serin getting some good damage on Xiaohu here, but I mean, Gala already with 2 kills, Tier already picked up. This is such a big win for RNG's bot lane.
Not only that as well, you can see the wave is actually pushing into him as we have a look at this one here. And again, it's just FarFetch kind of saying, we've got something to go on, but it's on to Ming, it's on to Leona.
Yeah, and especially when you've got the tankiness of this Leona.
Oh, Serin gonna go in underneath the tower. He's gonna be able to flash.
No.
Oh, it's a disaster, and this is just going from bad to worse. Gala, though, only level 1, not gonna be able to do anything here. One more auto attack would kill him off, but he stays alive, and it's just those little small moments. One more auto attack, but it's never gonna happen with RNG. They just know the limits of their champions too well.
This is so sad. It's been so close for the fast-paced Wildcats, and I mean, I like the idea that they're going for, right? Like, you want to be playing aggressive with this bot lane, but unfortunately, like FarFetch, as he goes in, Ming actually has a glacial augment, so he takes up a whole heap of damage. The replay was phenomenal there. Thank you for breaking down that minion. But I gotta say, yeah, I think just the aggression I like, but you just gotta be so careful with the damage removal that the glacial augment brings. Means that you just don't really have enough, especially when you're going onto the Leona, to try and carry those engagements on the bottom side.
And it's why we've seen the glacial augment favored over things like the aftershock, because it just gives you so much more priority, so much more you know, set up in those lanes, because you don't need to be tanky if you can just bring the damage down naturally. So it works out for the side of RNG, 3-0 up in this match already. And we talked about it in the last time when we saw an Ezreal and a Zoe. When you get poke comps, or even some kind of a semblance of a poke comp getting ahead, it becomes real difficult to deal with that.
Yeah, and I mean, this is just such a good start, and that's why Istanbul Wildcats trying to see if they can play the map now, see if they can put pressure onto Xiaohu. As the desk pointed out, like trying to keep Xiaohu in his own little bubble, so to speak, is going to be pretty good for you. And just allowing Serin to keep presence in this lane, push in these waves, is going to be so important for Serin.
FarFetch going to be coming over here just to help Serin push this one up, so he gets himself a little bit of a cheeky recall. There's actually no teleports in mid lane. Both mid laners going with that ignite. And actually, there's no teleports in this game at all. It's double ignite top side, it's double ignite in the mid lane. So we're not going to be seeing as many cross-map plays. It's all about that solo lane.
Yeah, it's all going to be about those big team fights, right? Like, you want to make sure that you're able to find those 5v5, set yourself up correctly. And I think it's kind of interesting to see, because for RNG, a team that traditionally has been very good at trying to play the map, not having access to those tools, feels like you're just going to go, okay, no, we can just play this 5v5 and end up winning out. But at least with the early game going their way with a 1,500 gold lead for themselves, essentially, you're kind of favoring RNG at the moment.
They're looking like they're going to try and maybe make this a very bad time in the bot side. They're going to jump at the HolyPhoenix. They're going to focus them out, but Ming can't tank up anymore. You can see Gala goes for something. While that happened, there's actually a solo kill on the top side, and that's 3 more kills going over the side of RNG. You can look on the mini-map. You can see the Diana now moving on to Bin. But he's got himself his ultimate. He's going to try and maybe kite this one out. He needs one more Q, but it's not going to be enough. Ferret will take him out, and eventually the fast-pay Wildcats will get something.
At least they got 1 kill back on the board, because RNG are starting to run away with this. 3 kills for Gala, 2 for Xiaohu, and a massive wave loss to that bot lane tower as well. And just see there, Bin, nice job with the barrel StarScreen, not really respecting it. And I was Bin just doing a nice job here, being able to get the solo kill, just the ignite enough.
You can put yourself in that situation. Yes, you had the Sanguine pool, but if he gets the ignite down, you're dead.
And now you're looking at the Hex Drinker already picked up for Bin, which is going to work wonders against the AP top and the AP jungle, and it's going to become even more difficult for StarScreen to try and hold on in this lane. And again, you're losing like waves galore. You can look at the XP on the left-hand side. Like, Bin is massively far ahead. HolyPhoenix is sitting way down below where he wants to be.
Xiaohu does get aggressed on a little bit, but not quite able to find it. They don't commit the ultimates of the Diana or the Irelia, and they keep themselves alive. But with Hex Dragon available, we might actually see the fast-pay Wildcats maybe go for something here. They have the push in mid and in bots. They're trying to just establish dominance.
I mean, trying to get some sort of vision here, because, I mean, you're going to have that slow push in the bot side, which sets you up for Riptail. So fast-pay Wildcats just trying to see if they can move in here, get control, and look at that dragon.
Oh. So you can test with the red buff. It is secured, but there's going to be a nice trouble bubble. Flash in. Does he get the auto attack down? Ming goes a little bit too far forward, and he gets taken down. The reset's coming in for Serin. He tries to make this one work, but he's exhausted by the Ezreal and taken out. Gala now on 4 kills. This man is ridiculously huge. HolyPhoenix has the flash in. Yuna uses cleanse, but you can see the Cyclone is too much for him to do anything, and Gala survives. They almost make it work, but RNG just clap him back.
They're just too far ahead. You've already got so many advantages. Xiaohu's looking for more.
He's looking for more, but I think he knows that Diana's in the vicinity, so he doesn't want to overextend. Has a flash on his W, so still feeling fairly confident. And again, despite all the moves, you can just see that the ideas from the side of the Wildcats, it's just not sticking.
Yeah, but you can look at the replay here. RNG had so much setup here. I have to poke in from multiple sides. Ming, I love the idea here. It's so smart, right? Goes in aggressive, gets the pink ward on top of the blast cone, so they can't save the Diana. You gotta try and clear the pink ward before you can take the blast cone, but it just means that RNG are set up so well. You get the ult coming in from Wei, Gala's safe over the back wall the whole time, and unfortunately here, FarFetch kind of baits in HolyPhoenix, who goes that bit too far, thinking he'll be able to hop over the wall, but just can't do it.
And again, just RNG doing RNG things. They're just gonna have those weird moments where it's like, yeah, look, you think you caught them out, but it doesn't matter. And now you're looking at a 4-0-2 Ezreal at 8.5 minutes. This guy's almost got his Trinity Force finished up, and you're dealing with some discount sword shopping right now on the side of the Kaisa.
I mean, Pharaohs.
They're going to go for this one right now, but there's the true shot barrage coming in as well. The flash in is trying to just burn down Gala. As we can see, they're going with a shotgun, and eventually he is shut down as Ming looks to try and take down Ferret. He had some help with the Krugs, and they almost did it right there, but these are two guys in no man's land, and you can see the rest of RNG, they're collapsing. There's going to be a big stick in the face, and that's going to clap him down. HolyPhoenix, nowhere to go. Wei going to give that one right over to Xiaohu, as he was feeling a little left out.
And look, I like the idea from FastPay Wildcats. Move down to bot side, get one or two of these kills, but they're just sticking around that little bit too long, and it means that Xiaohu had pushing mid, can come and join, and not having that mid priority really hurting them there, because you do get the backup from this zone.
This is the tone of RNG. This is just how they do things. Yes, it looks a bit scrappy. Yes, it's not as clean as maybe some of the other teams we've had in previous history, even T1 at the moment, but they're just so good at how they play the map and where they want to be and how they set things up.
And that's why I think the window obviously is very slim here for Istanbul Wildcats, but I'm certainly looking towards Ferret. Like, this Diana is sitting on 2 kills, actually in a relatively good spot with the CS lead as well. If Ferret can get this monstrous ult set up for FarFetch with his own ult, that could be a way of getting back into this.
I was going to say, Bin's got the minion wave, and he's level 9 right now, so he's going to try and 2v1 this one. He's got an orange, so he'll be K. He pops down the ignite. You can see that Pyke is his target, and Pyke has been killed. They got the mark down. Bin now, HolyPhoenix waiting.
No.
He doesn't have his ult. He doesn't have his flash. In a 2v1, Bin comfortably comes out on top of that one.
This is just so unfair for the Wildcats. Like, you're getting so close to so many of these kills, and RNG just get to walk away, that little bit of health still remaining. You can see that the Hex Drinker coming in clutch as well for Bin. Now, RNG crack up the bot lane tower. They're going to start pushing in towards the tier 2, and you've actually got to be incredibly careful here as Wildcats are actually pushing in the mid and looking to maybe collapse on this bot lane push.
And you got everything available to you in terms of ultimates, so it's going to be very difficult for them to really make this one work. And I gotta say, FarFetch, I like the idea of the Pyke, but you need that ultimate. You need level 6 for that execute, and you can see that he's just about trying to make it work while also seeing how much XP he can leech while not being as too much of a burden on this team. Serin gets caught out. They're gonna have the Everfrost coming in. He's just CC locked. Nothing he can do, nowhere he can go, and now Xiaohu flashes away. Ferret jumps back on top of him. HolyPhoenix will get the shutdown, and Wildcats will not be taken out, but Ming says there's not to be outdone. They're going to try and jump in here with Bin. He flashes away, but HolyPhoenix picks up a double kill. Gala will get the exhaust down and take him back. It's still a good trade for the side of the Wildcats, but again, RNG still answer.
Yeah, I mean, RNG are just answering consistently every play that Wildcats trying to make, and unfortunately for them, it's just meaning this gold lead starting to balloon further and further ahead. I still, as you can see though, kind of have a hope here as you can look at like Ferret, right? Because he gets in there, you can see the burst damage he has, like sets up for the good execute with HolyPhoenix. That's pretty much what you're relying on here for the fast-pay Wildcats, but as you say, the door is very quickly closing as RNG start to get further and further ahead. Look here, like good execution here from Ming to get on towards Serin, but Wildcats try to respond in mid. They get on towards Xiaohu, instantly burst out this Zoe. That's the damage that we're talking about. Shut down going to HolyPhoenix, but again, just more and more RNG members come out of the woodwork and are able to turn it back around.
Just how big Bin is right now. Those barrels are starting to do 1/3 of your health, and it's a little bit more than that, and it's half your health, and all of a sudden it's 2/3 of your health. It's getting ridiculous.
I do have to say though, with the 2 for 2 there, actually I'm gonna hold on.
We're gonna stop ourselves for a second. As we can see, Serin does not land the flawless duet. Wei gonna tank the turret aggro just for a second. There's only 2 plates left on this top lane turret. Here we go. Vanguard's Ed comes in. It's gonna be a flash from Wei as he gets himself away from the hook of FarFetch, who now has access to that ultimate. So you are ahead 100% here on the side of RNG, but you still got to respect the damage to Serin. He goes a little bit too far forward. He misses out on the flawless duet again. The solar flare is pixel perfect. Catches out on 2, but on the side of the light, you've got the darkness as the moonfall comes in. Ferret is doing work for his team and keeping them alive.
A disrespect from RNG. You've got Xiaohu pushing mid. You've got Bin pushing bot. They're both on vision, and Istanbul Wildcats pounce. And now they're starting to get these picks back in their favor. You do have Xiaohu though getting turret plates in this mid lane. Bin getting a ton of control over this bot lane as well. A 2-level lead for the Gangplank, so you're still got to be careful, but the Wildcats are not going down without a fight.
And honestly, they're getting some very, very much needed gold gold on top of HolyPhoenix, but we might see now Xiaohu gets himself behind the minion as Ferret's really trying to make this one work. And honestly, I gotta give massive props to Ferret and FarFetch, who just find the execution. Ferret on this Diana has been immaculate.
And he's doing such an incredible job. You can see it here. Look at where you are in the map. You got Xiaohu pushing mid, you got the Gangplank and bot, they're all on vision. And RNG go for this. And yes, they do get FarFetch, yes, they get Serin, but you've got bounties on the side of RNG that are going over to the Istanbul Wildcats, and much desperate needed gold going into HolyPhoenix, going into Ferret, and the Wombo combo is still alive for the Wildcats.
I mean, it was a 4,500 gold lead. Now it's a 3,000 gold lead. You've taken 33% of that effective gold off of their hands, and this is going to be significant. Now we have the Blade of the Ruined King picked up. You've the Krakens there moving into the Collector as well for HolyPhoenix. This Diana is getting very, very scary. So you can see, despite the early kills and the early momentum for RNG, there's still some life in these Wildcats. You have to respect them.
And the thing is, as this game starts to go on, right, you can actually, if you get some sort of control here as Istanbul Wildcats, get some tempo in your advantage, you can try and play side lanes with StarScreen, with Serin, like just the fact you win out in a 1-3-1. You still have to worry kind of about your lack of TPs and stuff, but my biggest issue is like trying to get that up and running is you just don't have control of the map, right? Even though we're getting Istanbul Wildcats getting some plays back in their favor, not having, well, Rift Herald, for example, here, not having control of your outer turrets really anymore as RNG congregate in mid lane to take another, this is where it becomes really difficult for Istanbul Wildcats to find these moments where they can fight back.
Ferret seeing if Wei wants to step forward, but isn't going to happen just yet. Flawless Duet will just go a little bit wide, but they keep the turret in mid lane up and alive. StarScreen now jumping in. You would love a level 11 here on the Hemo Plague, but they've already caught the star player from Ferret. He has to go golden immediately. Going to use the stopwatch. The Hemo Plague goes down onto Wei. He will flash away and keep himself alive. Wei trying to re-engage here. StarScreen caught between a rock and a cannon barrage and cannot do anything about it. These bubbles are just landing on so many priority targets, and RNG now will start to see themselves use that wallet to their advantage.
Yeah, I mean, just bullying out Istanbul Wildcats, taking out the mid lane turret, now getting another dragon for themselves. And this is what I was talking about, this composition for Istanbul Wildcats. Super hard to play with when you are behind like this. You're not able to get in a position where Ferret can find these key flanks, get control, and RNG are just denying them access to River every single time.
Have a look at the replay here, and again, it's just good vision here from the side of RNG. They see everyone just basically funneling in. They say, look, we know you're there, and we just give it the kit burst you out. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, and you don't have like the vision control here as Istanbul Wildcats to go, oh, we can try and get into River, right? Because you have Bane who's already pushed in bot, so he's covering one angle of attack. You've got the rest of them who are of RNG who are preventing Istanbul Wildcats from taking any other entrance into River, so you're able to land this poke. And I think this is why you can see a very different story from what we saw from the Ezreal and the Zoe in the last game, where when you actually have yourself established, we're able to use the terrain to your advantage. This is what you're capable of.
And the proto belt is good enough, but time to go sleepy buys. They just want to wait until everyone's in position. Ferret, I'm sorry, you are just going to be killed off, and that's going to be such a good pick-off right now. And RNG are just taking absolute control of this game now. Yeah,
for Ferret, unfortunately, he's the one that now has the target on his back, because RNG realized, like, if we can get rid of this Diana, that's the only real win condition for the fast play Wildcats right now. So we'll have to see how they can try and adjust to this, but with 2 dragons already picked up for RNG, starting to get better control of the river and of the map, gets difficult for Bin now.
I mean, they're going to ignite him right now. It's a 3v1. They go straight in with the Void Seeker. He's ticking down. Will he get taken out? He will not. Bin gets out with the great escape, and you will remember this as the day you almost caught Bin on Gangplank.
Captain Bin spiral, up for it, just making sure he's able to get himself out of that, but very close, and Istanbul Wildcats nearly finding the pick, but with them committing that much to the bottom side of the map, RNG now get their vision control over this top side near the Baron, and also get tier 1 top, maybe looking for tier 2.
FarFetch nearly getting caught out there as Gala makes his presence known. With the rest of RNG are kind of sitting around here saying, look, we have total control, we know what we have, and we know we can get some kills off. Boy, got a bit of a lull in the game. Do not forget to grab your exclusive surprise Prime Gaming emote so you can strut when you flash in and turn a fight. I actually don't know what it is. Like, is it
Fiddlesticks?
Fiddlesticks?
Yeah.
But like, what are the 2 small things?
other fiddles.
Smaller fiddlesticks. I was looking at it really hard. It's like a cupcake or something. Or maybe it's both. I don't know.
I think it's just I haven't looked at that fiddlestick skin enough. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a massive fiddlesticks player.
What?
Yeah.
Unreal.
I mean, he kind of got pushed out of the support role since the changes. So
I mean, fair. I was gonna say he's a jungler for me, but yeah. But he's so unique. He's so cool. I love his like passive and everything. It's just like it's a very unique champion. But we'll come back into game because Fiddlesticks is not here. But it is a bit of a scary situation for the side of Istanbul Wildcats. We are going to see the drowsy hit, and they're going to be falling Ferret asleep as he gets taken out. Wei is just keeping the rest of the team at bay. StarScreen trying to run away with the Ghost. He's got Ignite, has got himself the Sanguine Pool, and should be able to get himself back out to safety.
Again, RNG though, just targeting Ferret, making sure he cannot get into these fights, and it means that there's just nothing that Istanbul Wildcats can do. The Dark Seal that was looking very large and in charge for the Diana, now sitting with 0 stacks. And RNG take mid. They've already got the vision control established from the earlier play in this top side, so they just get to rotate directly up towards the top end of the map.
Yeah, and again, despite everything that the Wildcats were able to do, they just can't get their head in the game of this one here. They can't make it work, but they're going to maybe go for this one here. Vanguard's Edge is fantastic onto 3 members, but they can't follow it up. And now StarScreen, he gets to try and figure out where he wants to walk because everyone's there. Ferret is huge and gets the moonfall, but can they get the reset? It's still going to be a 1-5 from RNG, and despite what possibly was the perfect situation, RNG just smack him with a wad of $500 and say no.
I felt it, Oisin. It was right there, and just not enough in the tank for the fast-paced Wildcats. And with that, RNG will crack open the base of the TCL representative. And again, we are kind of saying, hey, look, maybe Istanbul Wildcats can draw blood. Maybe they can get something back against RNG at the start of the day, but I just don't see how they get to bring it back anymore. That was your moment, but as I look at the replay here, yeah, Shelly pops Ferret into the completely wrong spot. I mean, I love how you just sounded like, how dare you, you're so rude.
You're never betrayed by your enemies. I'm just putting that out there. But again, this was a perfect fight. In any situation, the Hemo play maybe could have been a bit better, but other than that, look at this re-engage coming out from Ferret. He gets literally the perfect engage. They're 10,000 gold behind. There's nothing they can do.
And this is the thing, right? If FarFetch was here from the get-go, maybe this works out a lot better. Maybe you can then have him a little bit healthier and able to set it up, but it was just a little bit disjointed. You know, you had Ferret a little bit late to the party, FarFetch a little bit late to the party, just not quite able to sync up in the way they wanted. But look at the damage there. You can see, I mean, Ferret doing nearly as much as Gala, and Gala is the one with 6 kills at the moment.
10,000 gold, or just underneath it. 3 dragons now as RNG start to take control, and honestly, you got to look for, again, a miracle play. I like that we're seeing that from the fast play Wildcats. They're going for these engages, saying, look, if we wait any longer, we're just going to lose anyway. We might as well go down with a fight. So I really do appreciate that rather than just dying a death of 1,000 cuts. And these true shot barrages are starting to do some significant damage, and it's just the peppering of damage before the fight. It's exactly what a Zoe and Ezreal want. They do the damage before you get into the 5v5.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the position that Zoe loves, being able to just fire these long-range bubbles over the wall. Ming does not connect with the Zenith Blade though, and now RNG will continue the siege and try to defend. This is a nightmare for the fast-paced Wildcats.
I will say you are fairly short range on the side of RNG, so you do have to get quite close to the tower in order to put damage down onto it. So maybe another wave or two, and they should be able to take it, but you still have time.
But that's the thing, right? You've already taken the 3rd dragon here, so 4 minutes until that soul is potentially up. So as long as RNG are able to, you know, keep this pressure up,
here we go. They get themselves a 3-man knockup, but FarFetch gets killed off straight away. Now Wei on the backside of this one, trying to use the Cyclone to protect Gala, who is untouched. This is RNG absolutely slaughtering the TCL representatives, and in absolute dominant fashion, they will take the win and start their day off with a W.
The TCL tried, but unfortunately RNG stand tall. They don't have a wave, so we gotta wait a hot minute. But it will eventually be the base falling. 15 seconds until HolyPhoenix with the wave now here. I think this is it.
This has got to be it. You can get out, but you really want to try and go up against this one here. And Nexus turrets will fall. FarFetch having a little bit of fun there. You cannot blame him. The Nexus will fall, and RNG get themselves onto the board.
And I mean, a nice win there for RNG, managing to take down the TCL representative, but I mean, such convincing fashion as well. There were a few moments where I looked at Ferret and was like, maybe that Diana could do it, but that was shut down very, very quick by the LPL team.
And honestly, I gotta give massive props to Ferret. Look, yes, you lost, and it sucks, right? No one's gonna say it doesn't, but it's exactly what the analyst has said. It's what Ox and Raz they wanted to see. They wanted to see less reliance on HolyPhoenix. They wanted to see more of someone on the else of the team standing up. Ferret did that. I gotta give him massive props.
Yeah, Ferret was sick on the Diana, and I loved the way that the TCL came in with this draft, right? As we kind of pointed out, you know, oh, you're going for the Wukong, cool, we'll take the Diana. We can play for these level 6 junglers where we're able to work off these big key ultimates for the team fight. It's just unfortunate that some of the other counter picks didn't work, right? Like the Vladimir get the solo kill by Bean. It felt like StarScreen never really had this big moment to where the Vladimir popped off, never really got to a point where he was kind of had the damage he needed to kind of filter into that. So honestly, I think at this stage, I like that we're getting some sort of life from the TCL representatives. Just unfortunate that RNG are as strong as they are.
Yeah, they got a little bit of life, but RNG was like, no, just absolutely not. And again, it's kind of to be expected. You don't want to take too much stock out of it. I think you can get a lot of positives from the fast-pay Wildcats, and I think they're going to start looking towards their next few games as something that maybe they can improve on. But we're going to head for a quick break.